Welcome everyone to our One World Energy Encounter with the Zohar. This week's portion is Trumah, and that's our volume 11, and we're going to be at verse 668. Let's invite in our lineage of Kabbalists, the Rav and Karen Michael, Rabbi Shlag, Rav Brandwein, the Ari HaKodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rav Mazulai, Rav Menachem Mendel Vitebsk, Rav Kolonimus Shapira Piasetzna, Rabbi Shimbar Chai and all the students, Rav Mordechai of Chernobyl, One Soul with Yosef Tzadik, Joseph the Righteous in Shechem. Today, which is the third day of Pisces of Adar, is also the anniversary of elevation of Rav Mordechai Yafe, the Baal HaLevushim. So we have his assistance today. This is a great month for giving charity, just want to say, and charity is one of the things that you can actually attach a condition to. Like, I'm giving this charity because I want this deal to go through, or I want this relationship to improve. It's the one area in our lives where we're allowed to attach a condition to it. That's the first thing. Second thing is that it's the end of the astrological calendar this month. And so we are really like planting seeds for the year to come, astrologically. And the negative side is also planting seeds for the year to come. So the quicker we give charity, we can beat the other side to the punch. And that's one of the things our teachers tell us about, emphasizing the importance of giving. So this month, this week in particular, is Trumah. We are marching towards the holiday of Purim, which is basically, it's like the realm of fulfillment is wide open for the asking. That's what Purim is. Whatever it is, wherever in our lives we are looking for fulfillment, whether it's healing, whether it's soulmates, no matter what it is, on Purim the doors are wide open, and so it's a 25-hour period of time, 24-hour period of time, a week from Monday night into Tuesday, and it's a great time also to stream or to just find somewhere a live reading. If you're near a center, it's amazing to go. I'm gonna actually be in New York. Anyhow, at least that's my plan, Bezrat Hashem. So, but the point I want to make, what is Trumah? It's like, it's giving. And it's a giving that's, there's no coercion in spirituality. It's like us giving of ourselves. What does it mean to give of ourselves? It means it could be our time, it could be our resources. But the teaching and what our teachers tell us is that when we do give, we are removing blockages. We are getting, when you get out of your comfort zone, you are removing a blockage. I mean, frankly, before I actually got on the Kabbalistic path, I was uncomfortable even going in this direction. And that was just a great example of me removing a blockage. There was a blockage there. Now, on a logical level, I thought I knew better, but turned out I didn't. So any opportunity we have to get out of our comfort zone in a healthy way is an opportunity for us to grow, and is an opportunity for us to manifest more of our soul. And the goal is to manifest more of our soul, to manifest more of our blessings, because the more soul, the more that we can manifest, the more work we're doing, which is what we came here to do. We came here to more fully manifest our souls. So that's the first point I wanted to make. And giving of ourselves, doing something that's uncomfortable doing something uncomfortable is an easy way to manifest more fully who we are. You are here to manifest who you really are. And who you really are isn't whatever you're envious about, or whatever you're hurt about, or whatever you're limited or uncomfortable, or this is the way I've always done it about. It's not about that. That's not who you are. That's your ego standing in the way. So this week, the energy, it's a great opportunity to give of ourselves, to give voluntarily, to give passionately, to give uncomfortably, step out of it, and more fully manifest your soul. Because the more you manifest of who you truly are, you reach a level, and this is what Rav Kook actually writes. He was like the first chief rabbi of the modern day state of Israel. And he was very much connected to Rav Ashlag. I mean, they were contemporaries. I'm saying Rav Ashlag, but I think I'm meaning Rav Brandwein. Actually, now I don't remember which one it was, but Mikhail talked about this. But one of the things Rav Kook said was, he said, at each level of our growth, there are additional blessings that become available. When you are praying someone for healing, really what you're asking the light to do is assist them to get to their next level where the healing exists. This is specifically what Rav Kook teaches. So that's what we're all doing. Any area where we're experiencing lack, the lack is waiting for us at the next level of our evolving. So let's talk about evolving in the context of this week's portion. And there's a lot in this week's portion on a prayer called the Shema. And so we're going to get into one of the verses in the Shema. Anyone want to volunteer to read English for us today? Okay, Maria, thank you. So let's start with the relevance.
Oh.
Which in my book is page 410. You didn't know I had all this reading for you.
No, and I gotta go back because I'm in the online.
Okay. It's verse 668.
Yeah, I'm on 668, but I don't have a relevance.
You don't have the relevance?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, I'm going to read the relevance.
Okay, thanks.
I read English too. Okay, here we go. The ultimate act of deception by the enticer, the negative angel, the Satan, is to convince man that he, the Satan, does not really exist. Now, I know what you're thinking. We talk about the other side all the time. We talk about the influence of the Satan. We talk about the desire to receive the self. But it's like, is it real? Or is it just a helpful metaphor? I mean, it's a helpful metaphor. Maybe it isn't real. Well, that's the Satan talking. The Satan doesn't want you to think that it's real. And the reason why it's so difficult for us to wrap our heads around it is because in here, when we look from the inside out, when we are engaged in our thoughts, we lack the ability of discernment between what's the voice of my soul and what's the voice of the other side. And as the Rav always said, it's energy consciousness. It's energy. Your thoughts are energy. And so we look at it like it's one whole integrated just series of thoughts that are mine. They're not yours. When it's thoughts from the other side, it comes across as being yours because it's energy that's playing in the little TV set in your head. But it's energy consciousness, it's negative energy consciousness, and it's coming from the other side. Your soul would never say those things. Your soul would never say something disempowering to you. Your soul would never say something negative. Your soul would never criticize you for doing anything. What do you mean? I really did, spill the milk. Everybody spills the milk. Your soul doesn't care about the spilled milk. The other side sees it as an opportunity for you for you to lessen yourself. And that's what the other side wants to do. The other side wants you to put yourself down, because when you put yourself down, you limit the ability of you to manifest who you really are. Consequently, we believe that our self-indulgent desires and covetous aspirations and our egocentric wants originate from our being. They do not. They come from the other side. This is a mistake. He has convinced us that our enemy is some other person or some external problem instead of our own untamed, uncertain nature. All the while, he hides in the shadows of our minds, lurking in the dark recesses of our beings, so that we might never know he exists. So the first thing we're going to get from today's reading is a better ability to tell the difference between what my soul is telling me and what the other side is trying to make me think my soul is telling me. And this is an opportunity for us to awaken the ability to see the difference. In truth, these selfish desires and negative, uncertain thoughts are implanted within us by the Satan, with the angel Satan. Yet the Zohar reveals a deeply profound reason for his existence, so that a man, through his own effort, can triumph over him, rejecting the momentary illusionary pleasure that the Satan provides for the authentic eternal light of the Creator. So what role does the Satan play? Well, when we overcome this, we get a sense of accomplishment. And we came here to accomplish things. I don't want something falling on my lap. I mean, my ego does, but I want to work for it. The things that you work for in life are the things that you truly appreciate. And that's what we came here to do. We came here to be productive, to be responsible for our growth, to get credit for our own growth. And this is this kind of interesting irony about when someone asks you to do something of a spiritual nature, you don't get credit if you're doing it because they told you to do it. They get the credit. There's nothing wrong with that, but you don't. That's why we're always saying there's no coercion in spirituality. We have to do it. We have to step out of our comfort zone. That's where the real growth is, when we make a decision. If someone asks you to do something, maybe you should say no. And then think about it. You know what? I'm going to do it because I want to do it, not because they're asking me. That's not so easy. In this way, man becomes the cause and creator of his own light. I know it took me years to get this idea about being the cause. What does it mean to be the cause? I initiate, I decide, I have my free will. When I make a decision based on my own free will, I am now the cause. I'm not doing it because of the externals. I'm not doing it because someone's being coercive or manipulative about the situation, whereas I think it's the right thing to do. I'm the cause. And what's important about being the cause? Because when we're the cause, we're like the light. And when we're like the light, we manifest more light in the world. The effect doesn't manifest light. The cause manifests the light. The portion of text accomplishes many things. This portion. We grasp the role of evil in the world, perhaps the most perplexing and disturbing of all theological questions. We unlock our ability to recognize our evil inclination as a separate and distinct entity. It's an entity. It's energy consciousness, unattached to our true soul consciousness. Look, when you put on this body, it comes with certain standard features. Most of them, and we know what they are. Well, one of the standard features of getting a body is desire to receive for the self. It comes pre-programmed with Satan energy, with energy on the other side, and it's just there. It's just there. Like you ever heard of the standard feature that comes with your car? It's there. We kindle light and it extinguishes darkness, exterminating the very roots of evil. And by virtue of the above, we become the cause and creator of our own light. Thus, we fulfill our purpose in this world. That's why our soul is here. That's our soul's purpose. My purpose and your purpose, we all have different purposes. If we had the same purpose, there would be duplication. There's no such thing as duplication in this world. No two snowflakes are alike. It's very simple. And that's why we shouldn't go around judging and trying to figure out what people are doing. That's their journey. That is their journey. Maria, can you see the title? What's the title of this article?
With all of my heart and with all of your soul and with all of your might.
Okay, so that's from the first paragraph of Shema. So this is one of the most energetically powerful verses that we connect to on a regular basis. It's like we say it in the morning, we say it in the evening connection, and we say it before we go to sleep. It's the ultimate creation of unity between upper realm and lower realm. And there are other sections in this particular week's Zohar that talk about it. We're focusing on that sentence because I'm struggling with it. And you're going to have to hear about it. Okay. The Aramaic for 668. Rabbi Yitzchak HaShechiach, Kamed Rabbi Elazar, Amar Le, Va'adai Rechimu D'Kachabrichu, Devar Nash Rachim Le, La Itar Ela Miliba. Begin the liba ihu it aruta it ara lagabe rechimu ihachi amaikati b'chol levavacha levatar b'chol nafshecha the mashma ditrain gavnin inun chad liba the chad nafsha liba hu ikara my by nafsha amar le vadai liba benasha train inun the it achadan lechad daha liba benafsha umamona Hulu it achadan Davidan. Viliba iu ikarav yesoda dechola. Maria?
Rabbi Yitzchak was present before Rabbi Elazar and said to him.
Okay, so why does the Zohar have to tell us that Rabbi Yitzchak was before Rabbi Elazar? Can't it just say Rabbi Yitzchak decided to share with the group? Well, Rabbi Elazar was among the most elevated of all the students after Rabbi Shimon. It's Rabbi Shimon's son. And so, like, you know, who you're speaking to is so relevant to what's going on. It's context. And it goes on in our lives also. Like, one of the things that I learned many years ago about communication was we think communication is about us speaking our truth, and it is on some level. But on another level, it's about understanding the person we're talking to. Like in every situation we are in, before we speak, we should invite the light in and ask the light for help. And our teachers tell us this, in communicating things in the way so that the person we're speaking to will understand. Because we all have different ways of communicating. By the way, one of the things I learned when I did a little workshop on communication skills is if you want to know how people understand things, look at the way they speak and communicate. That's a tell on how you need to communicate to them. That's where this whole idea of mirroring in communication comes from. And very simply, if I'm speaking English and they speak Russian, if I can speak Russian, they're going to understand it better. That is their communication method. So it's always, on a 1% level, it's really helpful to understand what someone's communication methods are in communicating to them. Now you could say, Rabbi Yitzchak's talking to Rabbi Elazar. Will we get out of it what he's trying to communicate to Rabbi Elazar? I don't know. But whatever we get out of it is exactly what we're supposed to. And that is the point of this study. It's all going to show up differently for us, as it should. We're all going to hear it differently. And again, this goes back to our soul's journey. You're going to get from this exactly what your soul is supposed to get today. Okay, keep going.
Certainly. The love of the Holy One, blessed be he, that a person feels for him is arose only from the heart. For the heart is a place of awakening to arouse towards him love.
Okay, so we're talking about the L word here, love.
Mm-hmm.
And what Rabbi Yitzchak is saying, and this is with reference to that verse from the Shema. Listen, that paragraph, the first line is Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and then we say Baruch Shem silently. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchut Olam. Those are the first two lines. The first line of Shema is a connection to the upper realm. Baruch Shem is manifesting that light. And then the first paragraph starts, Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha. You shall love the Creator, your God. It starts off with Ve'ahavta, which means you shall love. Really? Can you compel that? Doesn't it sound like we're being commanded to love the Creator with all our heart and with all our soul and with all our means? Can you do that? Can you tell someone to love you?
No. Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So it can't mean that. Now, look, I've been saying that line since I was a little kid. That was never discussed at all. It was just discussed. I don't even think it was discussed what even it meant. The literal translation. Maybe it didn't. I don't remember. Because too anxious to get out to recess or something. Like, I don't know. But I'm saying now, as an adult with some semblance of maturity, I'm taking a step back and I'm trying to figure out what that means. Anyone? Anyone want to put a couple toes in the pool of what it means to love the Creator? Andy?
Well, I think it's about obviously loving yourself and recognizing the good in someone else. Like, you don't have to like someone else, but there's certain parts of everyone that you can find to love. I mean, it's hard.
For some people, it's hard for some people to find to love somebody. It's hard to love some people.
Absolutely.
But you're saying that there's always something about them.
I think that it's hard sometimes, but yeah, I think if you try hard enough, you could find something. And for sure, it's the same thing goes with us, to love that part of us, because we are the creator. We are part of the creator.
Okay, that's really good. So I think that and Andy, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think that what Andy is saying is that I want to take the next level. She's saying when you love yourself, where you find ways to love others, that's an aspect of loving the Creator, because we understand that that spark of the Creator is in everybody. So if I can find a way to love somebody, even though they're difficult, I'm honoring the fact that there's a spark of the Creator. Listen, nothing exists here without the light of the Creator. I want to read before I lose this. Stacy, let me pull up my chat. Stacy said, is it connected to unconditional love? Love without logic defining it? Well, that's a great question. Let's make a distinction between unconditional love and loving without logic. Because in my book, love better be logical. Unconditional, I get the thing about unconditional love. That's a hard thing. Your ego, but that's your ego. And this is why it's so important that this whole conversation started off with this understanding that there's a program playing in here. And I'm pointing to my head when I say it. There's a program playing in here that's like going to disturb any thoughts we have on this. Because to love everybody on the planet is creating tremendous energy and tremendous unity and tremendous opportunities to channel blessings from the upper realm. So the other side is going to say, okay, yeah, that's not real. Who are we kidding? Peter wrote, loving the Creator is being like the Creator. We are acting like the Creator in so doing. Yes, because one of the things our teachers teach us is that, hey, if somebody's here, it's out of the love of the Creator. So when we love everyone unconditionally, we again are becoming the cause. We're deciding to do that. And in that sense, we are like the Creator. And the more we are like the Creator, we are more of the cause and we are manifesting more light. But here's the thing about loving the Creator that strikes me. It's like, what is my relationship with the Creator? I mean, I'm just saying, the Creator never calls me up to ask me if I want to go out for a beer. I'm not feeling that. Like, think about it. Think about the things that you do love, the easy ones. Not like loving everybody. That's a bit more challenging. I mean, like, think about the things that you love. My car, my home, my family, most of them. They're all physical. Jackie is saying, what is not part of the creator, question mark, equals love the creator. What is not part of the creator, love the creator. Well, everything's part of the creator. There's nothing you encounter that doesn't have the light of the creator in it. But I'm just struck by this whole idea that when I think about the things that I love, they're physical. How do you love an intangible? Yes, Rocky, I see your hands up.
See how polite I'm being today?
Great. You're always great.
I'm sitting here and a couple of things came up, right? First thing that came up was the letter Lamed and how it
Lamed,
goes down, Lamed, goes down and over. And it was brought to my attention that the power in that letter is let me say this to clarify. The only organ in our bodies that is not controlled by the brain is our heart, right? So you can be brain dead, but you cannot be heart dead. And then the letter Lamed is a line down and around, which to me means connecting the logic to the heart in love, right? So I then hear in my head that the sun shines on the good as well as the evil, right?
Yes.
And then it comes up, all of that brings me to love the creator as co-creators, like Andy said, is that I have to love the Jeffrey Dahmers of the world as well as the Christ-like creatures of the world. So loving the creator means that in essence to me is the same love that the creator gives to me in spite and despite of who and how I perform is the love that I need to project out into the world at some level, which is hard. And I think that
yeah,
that's the light part.
You bring up a lot of really interesting points, but so like on the one hand, like even the most negative people around, we want to be able to find love in our heart, but I want to say that I don't want to say like we have to love them. I'd rather say we have to find the love
in them
and in us, because if I say I have to, I now have sort of I'm now not having to do anything. Like there's work involved and it's got to be voluntary and I got to think about it. And so part of this whole exercise is I think it's important to think about this and where we are and where we need to. I don't want to take the hard cases. It's like the most evil people in the world. Let's not deal with those. We can deal with the easy cases, the people that are just, we actually know, that make it difficult. Yes, Ron.
So you were saying before the, like intangible things, right? But at the end of the day, it's all intangible. It's like whatever you love about your car, you weren't born loving your car, right? It's like whatever it makes, however it makes you feel is, oh yeah, I love that, right? Like, or I love that piece of chocolate. But
right.
it's
I love chocolate.
Me too. But it's like the experience of it. It's never about the thing. It's about like, the like how it makes you feel.
It's about, that's awesome. That's a great point. It's a great point. Roshan, unmute yourself.
Okay. I was thinking that if we are to become like God and we are sparks of the Creator, then loving God isn't a command. It's like we're hardwired into doing that. It's part of us.
It is. It's the part of us that the other side doesn't want us to know. It's part of our, it's part of our soul. That's why it says, with all your heart and with all your soul. Question is, why did I have to say both? And we'll see that in a second. But the point I want to make on all this, and these are all amazing contributions. The point I want to make is that we see the chocolate and we feel the love, but the love is in here. It's not there. Like I may have had a really nice vacation. Oh, I loved my trip to wherever, to Mexico. Can I only find love in Mexico? No, it's not there. That experience elicited the love that's in here. It's in here. And when we start thinking about the fact that it's in here, that in Trumah's word, it's a feeling that's in here, it can be elicited by any number of experiences, but all that's doing is helping us is know that it's here. When we associate it with the car, the house, the vacation, the chocolate, it's a projection on them. They don't control where my love is. I do. It may elicit the love. It's still here. So I actually control that. It's internal. So I think, and if I can wrap my head around the fact that I actually control that, then I'm a long way on the way towards sharing that. I have it here. Question is, am I going to share it? Well, they didn't look at me, or they didn't call me on my birthday. Oh, I'm holding my love back. Right? Yes, Peter.
You know, what's kind of interesting, what just came up for me is we're talking about this so much and we're in some sense all struggling to come up with a way in which to articulate it. And the point is that it's supposed to be something that we do so that we are like the creator, yet we can't even clearly define what it means to love.
Right. Right.
Well, how do you define love in the first place?
But it's so simple. We shouldn't
I know
even,
it when I see it.
but it's also so simple. We shouldn't be really going around and around trying to define it, right? It's just like, what is the love of God, right? That's our job to do and understand. Once we understand how great he is with us, we should just do the same thing to others. Simple as that. But it's so hard.
Yes, the way you're saying it is that simple. But on a practical level.
But David, if I may, it's not our love of God. It's God's love. That's what we're supposed to emulate and react, and be. So if we do that, then we should know it.
Yeah, it's in here, by the way. Where does it come from? It comes from the Creator. The love I'm feeling is coming from the Creator? Yeah. When you love that chocolate, that love, what you're feeling is coming from the Creator. Yes, Stacy.
So how do we,
Sounds good. Sounds great. I know it's hard.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
How do we know what it's like to receive love from the Creator if we're struggling to even define it?
That's why we're having this conversation.
Right? Because I love.
No, that's an important question. How do we know? And what I'm saying is that when we feel love, we're feeling the Creator's love. That's difficult. Those are two very difficult dots to connect, but I'm trying to connect them. Yes, Stacey.
No, just like, how do we know it's not like endorphins or sugar high or?
Well, science would tell us it is, but it's a feeling. I am feeling that. That feeling is real. This is why Monica Berg is, I've heard her say, feelings are the GPS to your soul. Yes, Ron.
So I think it's just making acknowledging that it's from the Creator versus just kind of like an automatic, oh, I love this. You know what I mean? And just acknowledging that, oh, this is from the creator versus I just love this chocolate because I love it.
I love this TV show. It's so funny. They're so cute together, those actors. I'm feeling is coming from the creator. Now, I suppose, there are ways that can be a desire to see for the self. So we want to think about it in terms of desire to see for the sake of sharing. I mean, this love that I feel is something I really want to share. I don't want to keep it to myself. That doesn't make, that's no fun.
But that's when you become like the creators, when you share.
Right. So really, in every encounter that I show up in, I want to show up connecting with that love that's in my heart, that is connected to my soul. In every scenario. Sometimes it might be tough love, but it's love nonetheless.
So I want to share something.
Yes, please, Maria.
So to that, in talking about this beautiful subject of the love of God, I just want to share something. And I think I did have my aha moment this week in the office. But now that we're going through this, it's just coming again. I just want to share. So, like you said, we're supposed to love everyone, but do we love everyone the same and unconditionally as God asks us to do? No, not really. We're human, right? So there's some favoritism and that I get along with in the office, and others are not my favorite. But anyways, I'm in the office this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it was. And one of that person came to me and asked me, we have a restaurant and a pie place, coffee pie next to us. And she asked me, hey, I'm going to get pie. You want to come with me? You want anything? And I looked at her and I was like, no, I'm coming with you. I'm going to take a walk. And I grabbed my wallet, and they were buying. I grabbed my wallet with the intention I'm going to buy my own piece of pie. But when I was there, not thinking, no plan or anything, I ended up buying the pies. Nothing, thinking about it and not looking at the dollar amount and who is it for, who's going to be, nothing. It was giving, I wasn't looking for a thank you or anything like that. And then around 5 o'clock, it dawned on me. It's like, wow, I took care of everybody equally in the office today without thinking, without an agenda, without anything. And I just like, God, you're speaking to me. So will that be?
Yeah, there's like no agenda. I have no agenda. God doesn't have the agenda. The creator put us here to do work, for us to, unfold ourselves, for us to go beyond those things that are blocking us. We have blockages from this life and from prior lives that we're here to unfold, to work through. I mean, the creator is showing up with unconditional love for everybody on the planet. They wouldn't be here. I don't have to be in the same room as some people, but I don't want, I do have unconditional, I want to have unconditional love. The thing is that, the other side is going to say, yeah, but look at how they did this, look at how they acted. And that. I mean, there's plenty of reasons we can find. It's like you always want to give someone the benefit of the doubt because we don't know their situation. We don't know their circumstances. Yes, Peter. Okay. Are you saying goodbye? Okay. So let's finish the English real quick, Maria.
Sure. He questions, if so, why is it written with all your heart and afterwards with all your soul? So it means that there are two manners in love, one in the heart and one in the soul.
Yeah, he's saying, so that's a question. You mean there's two? Because it says both. There are no extra words in the Bible, in the Torah. So why would it say both? They must be different. Yes? Question mark, keep going.
If the heart is the essence, why is the soul necessary? He said to him, the heart and the soul are two, and they join into one. For heart and soul and money will unite together, but the heart is the essence and foundation of everything.
Okay, so it says money, but I think a more appropriate translation would be means, resources. So they're but the Zohar said seems contradictory. They're two, the heart and soul are two, and they join into one. Well, which is it? Is it two or is it one? Can it be both? One and two? Okay, so it's a paradox. And as the Rav, I've heard the Rav say, when you see the paradox, you're closer to the truth, which is a paradox in and of itself. It's because our minds lack the ability to reconcile certain things. Just because we can't reconcile it doesn't mean it's not true. We live in this fragmented world. In the upper realm, it's all one, but we perceive it as fragmented. So in our world, it looks like it's two, just like we look like we're all separate. We're all separate souls walking around on our own journeys. That's the way the world shows up to us. When the deeper reality is we're all connected. We're all connected. So just like I have a hard time with people, but do I have a hard time with my thumb on one hand and not the other? No, I love all my fingers equally because I know they're connected. If I could perceive the connection I have with everyone, it'd be a lot easier for me to express that love in all ways. Meanwhile, we're out of time. I think we could have spent another hour on this, but it's a fascinating thing to think about, and a fascinating thing for us to do two things. One is awaken within ourselves a greater appreciation for when I'm listening to the other side and when I'm hearing my soul. And the other thing is to understand that when I'm experiencing love, when I'm feeling love, that is also coming from the Creator. And so loving that is an aspect of my loving the Creator. All right, everybody. Love you all. Have a good show. Thank you.
Shabbat
Shalom. Thank
Good
you.
class.
Bye.
Bye. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.